Thank you, Madam Chairman, Congresswoman Napolitano. My name is Robert Scardelletti, and I am the International President of Transportation Communications, IAM. Our union, together with other rail unions, represent over 150,000 workers on America's freight, passenger, and commuter lines. TCU-IAM is the largest union on Amtrak, representing 6 crafts. All rail labor has long supported high-speed rail in the United States, which included the passage of the Passenger Rail and Investment and Improvement Act of 2008, PRIA, and the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, ARRA. This historic commitment to intercity and high-speed rail will create and sustain thousands of good jobs. The passage of PRIA and the appropriations in ARRA is a good start for what can be a great opportunity for high-speed rail in our country. Labor protections and requirements to preserve existing collective bargaining agreements must be administered fairly and consistent with the law. Davis-Bacon prevailing wage requirements must fully apply to all covered construction work. Buy America requirements must be applied and strongly enforced. Amtrak and its workforce must be fully utilized as the backbone of high-speed rail in America. Amtrak is by law America's national passenger rail carrier and the only current provider of high-speed rail through its Acela Express service in the Northeast Corridor. Amtrak has an established national network which includes an extensive reservation system, existing rolling stock, statutory relationships with the freight rails for trackage rights, and decades of demonstrated compliance with all federal rail laws. Amtrak has also partnered with states and local governments to provide passenger rail service for decades. Amtrak has a track record of adhering to various grant requirements imposed by the federal government. Most importantly, Amtrak has a dedicated and very experienced workforce. Collective bargaining has existed with Amtrak since its creation in 1971, and current labor agreements are in place with all the company's unions. High-speed rail is just that, railroad work. Amtrak should receive credit for complying with all railroad statutes and not be placed at a competitive disadvantage. For example, Amtrak as a rail carrier has financial obligations to its employees through the Rail Retirement Act. If another entity seeks to provide service but does so with the intention of evading, for example, one law, the Rail Retirement Law, that entity could artificially undercut Amtrak on a cost basis. Potential providers of service must not be allowed to evade the railroad statutes so that all applicants will be judged on a level playing field. All rail labor supports a strong Buy America requirement as contained in both the Amtrak statute and ARRA. Almost all existing major high-speed rail equipment manufacturers are foreign. Buy America in this context must mean that even if the developer is foreign-owned, any equipment must be assembled entirely in the United States. Amtrak, with its skilled and unionized shop craft employees, should be the first choice to repair and maintain all new high-speed rail equipment. Foreign companies should not be allowed to avoid the application of railroad statutes. Employee protections under the law should be seen as a means of integrating the existing workforce into high-speed rail and expanding intercity service. Existing collective bargaining agreements can assure that new operations have access to experienced and trained employed workers and in the process minimize labor uncertainty. In summary, funding for Amtrak and its current services must not be cut. We call upon Congress and the administration to fully fund Amtrak's capital and operating needs at its currently authorized level. And any new high-speed rail programs must be fully funded. We must be committed to the long haul. Good labor policy and sound transportation policy are not inconsistent propositions. In fact, high-speed rail in this country will succeed if workers are brought into the process and treated fairly. The benefits will be the best high-speed rail system in the world. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Brett.